Please don't do that. Just doing a live again because not because my life is perfect, but because I think it's darn near close. So today, oh my gosh, guys, I'm just sitting up here with these kids because my husband decides he's gonna clean the downstairs. My face says it all. Anytime my husband says he's gonna clean, everybody has to vacate the house. Everybody has to vacate. He's like, take the kids outside so I can clean. Granted, okay, I get it's the weekend, he's off, he wants to help, I get it. Help. He wants to do his part, I should say. I get that. But this whole thing of take the kids outside, I was like, bro, I'm not taking the kids outside. Forget that. I'm not doing that because that's work. That is like me taking the kids outside for the whole time you're cleaning means they're. It's funny because he sent me a video of like a mom just holding an infant and screaming at her toddler, like, no, don't go there, don't do that. And I'm like, that's exactly what I go through. That is exactly what I go through when I take the kids outside. Okay? Don't ask me to take the kids outside to clean. I would rather literally have them in here messing up my closet. Liam, stop it. Making noise in my ear, messing up my closet, than have them outside for an undetermined amount of time that I don't have an escape plan where I'm like, okay, we need to go back inside because daddy's cleaning. We won't be able to go back inside when I need to. No, they're gonna stay in here, okay, until he's done cleaning. And we're both ready to take them outside, then we're gonna take them. I'm not taking them outside. No, forget it. I'm not doing it. Not today. And also, I told you guys that the mosquitoes, freaking mosquito apocalypse going on out there. I am not sure what's going on today because there was a fire last night. I could smell smoke everywhere. So hopefully that's cleared a lot of the mosquitoes, but I'm not betting on it. Okay, I'm not taking that chance of finding out the hard way. So they're gonna stay in here. Let him finish cleaning. Okay, let him finish cleaning. And then we'll go outside. But guys are so different, eh? Men are different. Men are just different. Ladies, you know what I'm talking about. When I say guys are different, like this parenting role stuff, like when you become parents, when you're dating and you're talking about, kids and whatever, and what you're gonna do. Liam, can you go in the office? Go in the office and get him some toys. There's toys in the office. Liam, go in the office and get him some toys. He's bored. I should probably put Peppa Pig on for him. So this is how my husband cleans. He blasts music and tells everybody to leave. Whereas moms, we don't have that luxury. We clean around our kids because most of the time I'm cleaning. If I'm cleaning the house, it's because my husband is deployed somewhere. He's at work. Is working on the weekend, so he's not even here for me to be like, hey, watch the kids so I can clean. I have to clean around the kids, and he's like, oh, but I want to move stuff and do a third clean. What do you think I do all the time? Alright, it's so funny. What is your swim stuff? I need to pull this stuff. Okay, I'm gonna put Peppa Pig on for you right here while your daddy cleans. Chewy, what are you guys crying about? Everybody wants Liam, you see? Chewy wants that. And keep this gate closed. And keep this bathroom closed so that he doesn't. That's not okay. No, Chewy. I got this for baby.
And just
We can play together. Play together nicely.
from the future.
Sorry guys, I'm back. I had to put Peppa Pig on for me. Sorry, it's gonna be a little noisy in here. But whatever. So what I'm doing, guys, I am braiding up all of the leave outs. For this reason. And even schedule appointments. They'll teach you for free. So apply now and let's make your able to press the skip? No.
This baby elephant was wearing a mask.
So yeah, guys, ladies and gentlemen, I just feel like men and women are different. We obviously have different skill sets, we have different strengths, and I feel like we have to, in order for us to live in harmony, we have to respect others' strengths and skill sets and just find a way to what do you call it? To complement each other, right? We have to find a way to complement each other, particularly men, because as far as I've been able to tell, if a woman is pushed to it, we can do all of it. Okay, we can work, we can raise our kids, we can do a darn good job at both. So that's not even what's in question here. The reason I'm doing this live is because I'm I just got really upset. I got angry. I got angry actually. And I told you guys, sometimes my lives, my videos are not always just about sharing memories. Sometimes they're my video diaries. And I just share how I'm feeling in any particular moment, especially if there's something that, is weighing on me that I should probably be talking to a therapist about or whatever. But sometimes I don't have access to that because obviously I'm a stay-at-home mom, and so my video diaries are a coping mechanism. So I have recently been witnessing women. Some of them are friends, some of them are colleagues, some of them are just people I'm seeing, on social media. But the friends are the ones that it's hitting home even more because I knew certain couples. Liam, too noisy, please. Can you let the baby play with the elephant? Liam, go ask Daddy for the big phone. Go ask Daddy for the big phone, please.
I was playing with him.
I need to get a whole different toy for this boy. Anyway, so this is my problem, okay? And I had this issue even with my husband. I'm gonna be very transparent with you guys. I have this issue, but as long as I've been talking to like my support groups and moms groups, I'm realizing it's a general thing. It's just a general issue. It's not something unique to our relationship. It's just how men and women are socialized. And I don't know if biology plays into it. I've been talking to some moms, and some of them insist it's biology, but I don't know if it's biology or if it's socialization. But we live in a society where men get patted on the back for just looking at their children, for just looking at their children. When moms, we lose sleep, we lose our incomes, we lose our businesses, we lose our earning potentials to take care of these children. And nobody says boo. Nobody says boo. But that's not the part I'm complaining about. That's not the part I'm about. That is deserves Liam, please stop. That deserves its own life. But as you can see, that deserves a whole life for itself. But my issue is, as you can see, even from my example right now, for something simple like to clean the house, which is something I do day in, day out. My husband requires that everybody, okay, I have the puppy here. I got the puppy here. The only one that's probably still out there is the cat, and that's because he sits on high places, like on the table or on his cat castle. He's out of the way anyway. But I have all 3 babies in here, okay? And that's just for him to clean the house. And if you guys saw my video last night about when my son wanted to grow a bread tree, and I came back in from outside, and Daddy's supposed to be watching the baby, but he's watching TV instead. And you guys have heard me so many times on my live saying, I don't know the last time I got to watch a full show or movie of anything, because I'm always going after babies. And I get that. I have more patience. I have more, what is it? I have more of that nurturing instinct in me than my husband does, for sure. Just one-on-one, if you evaluate our nurturing instincts, I have a lot more of it. And I get that, but like last night I was tired, and that's why I was like, you know what? I'm gonna take the 4-year-old outside, and when I come back, I'll take him upstairs to brush his teeth. So for now, you deal with the infant. But I come back, and the infant has, thank goodness, it was just a plastic fork, but he had a fork in his hand. But I'm just telling you as an example, like dads are what I see with dads is just like, oh, as long as the kids are alive, then okay, we're good. It's not really about how well the kids thrive. It's just about, let's just keep them alive, right? And I see that even to certain degrees with my husband. He does the same thing a lot of the time. Like, okay, he's alive, so he's fine, right? And I think it is a big part of it is socialization. Our society does kind of give them a lot of slack. Not slack, but it gives them a lot. Let them get away. Our society lets men get away with giving less when it comes to the parenting department. So there might be biological aspects to it, whereas, where women we've evolved to be more nurturing, more patient, and more compassionate towards our children. But I feel like, Liam, what did I say about the noise? Stop shaking that. But I feel like the socialization aspect, Liam, I'm putting that back in the office in 5 seconds if you keep doing that. 1, 2, 3. That's enough. So yeah, I feel like the socialization aspect makes it a lot worse, if you know what I mean. Because, okay, let me just get down to it. Okay, so some of my friends are going through bad separations or divorces. Okay, and I'm noticing a trend here where, okay, so a guy decides family life is too much for him, so he's gonna leave. He's gonna separate. He wants a divorce. He wants to leave. Nothing happened. Nobody cheated on anybody. Trust me, nobody cheated on anyone. Okay, I know these people. No one cheated on anyone. But somebody just decided too tough for him, just too much. So, or he just decided he doesn't like the way things are being done. So he just decides, okay, I'm gonna leave and start over or whatever, as if there's such a thing. I don't know why men say start over. I'm gonna leave and start. I know so many men that go, I'm gonna leave and start over. You already have children. There's no starting over. Parenting continues. You don't get a redo. So that's why you have to choose wisely who you're gonna have children with. And also, once you choose, you have to make that work. Don't make it impossible for people. Don't make life hard for, you know, the other parent, no matter how you feel about them, right? Especially if you're leaving just because you just got tired. You just got tired of sleeping with the same person. You just got tired of, you know, the stress, the noise that family life brings. So what puzzles me is later on during the separation, Liam, I've asked you so many times to stop with this thing. I got this for the baby so he doesn't cry, and now you're hogging it. Now you're hogging it. Now you're hogging it and making noise. Mommy's talking. I'm doing a live and you're making noise. I told you to get the big phone. Where's your big phone? You don't even have it. Do you have anything? You should have brought your toys up here. Look, Liam. I have ghosts.
I want that light up. How to see if it still works?
I don't know. Maybe the battery's dead. Maybe it does work.
How to see?
Oh yeah, it does. It works, but you might have to go in the closet. Here, hold this. Don't drop this part. That's the part that makes it work. These kids. So you see what I mean? Like, even now, I'm gonna be honest with you guys, I don't ever get a break from these kids. I never get a break. So even the times that my husband is trying to be sweet and he's like, I'm gonna cook or I'm gonna clean, that still means that I have to watch the kids while he does that. Whereas if it's reversed and I'm like, I'm gonna cook, I'm gonna clean, guess what? He'll be like, oh, while you're cooking and cleaning, I'm gonna go to the gym. You see what I mean? And then that means I'm cooking and cleaning and watching kids at the same time. I am the default primary caregiver of these children. Anything that I decide to do, I have to do it while watching kids. Whereas anything he decides to do, whether it's in the house or outside the house, it's never planned around watching the kids. It's never planned around watching the kids. So I don't understand these guys when once they're going through separations, like, this guy that my friend's going through right now, why do they then, out of just ego, decide that, for them to be viewed as the good guy in this whole thing, because obviously they've just turned everyone's life upside down and everybody knows it, because you literally you couldn't handle life, you couldn't handle adulting and parenting, so you're out. Okay, well, everybody's gonna treat you just like that, but because they don't want to be treated that way, and because their egos and their self-perception and how they're perceived by people on the outside matters to them more than their children's well-being, these guys, and I'm telling you, so many of these guys are like, I'm gonna fight you for full custody. And I'm just like, why would you? What? Are you kidding me right now? You're gonna fight who for full custody? A woman that I have seen. Look at this one. So exciting. A woman I have seen time and time again taking care of these kids 90% of the time, doing most of the caregiving job 90% of the time, and you just come and take care of them once they're clean and cute and dressed up and they look nice. Who's bathing them? Who's wiping their bums 99% of the time? Who's doing all that grueling work? And he can be like, oh yeah, but I work. You're able to work because she's doing all this work. You're able to work so much because she's doing all that work. He has had years of peace of mind that when he gets up and he goes to work in the morning or whatever time he goes to work, that his children are safe, they are fed, they are bathed, they are clothed. Okay, they are thriving. They're not just surviving. These children are thriving. He's had that luxury for so many years. All these guys have had that luxury for so many years. But now that because you decided you don't want to be with this woman anymore, now she's the devil. Okay, now she's the devil, and now she's not capable of raising your kids. Now you want full custody. That makes no sense whatsoever. What is going on? What is going on with these guys? Really, somebody, please, from a male perspective, and please don't tell me that, oh, maybe the mom is not capable. No, I'm telling you examples where the mom is fully capable. The mom has been raising these children from infancy, from conception, because we become mothers at conception. We don't become mothers when the baby pops out. That's just guys. That's you guys, men. You become fathers when you see the baby, and when you decide you're well and ready, then you become fathers. For us, it's at conception, because we are growing that baby and we feel that baby, and we have to provide that baby's needs through our bodies from conception. It doesn't just happen on its own. Because there's a lot of things that I could neglect doing while I'm pregnant. And there's a lot of bad things I could do while I'm pregnant that could make that pregnancy terminate early or not even grow to full term. There's a lot of things. So we become mothers at conception. Okay, a lot of us. So I don't understand now. I feel like most times there's very rare occasions where let's say the mom is like, a drug addict or crack addict or something, and she's just really, really, really incompetent. But these are examples I'm telling you right now. These women they don't even, the most they drink is coffee. Okay, the most they drink is coffee. I don't even drink coffee. I don't drink any stimulants whatsoever. Oh my gosh, I told my husband, listen, if we ever got in a position where we are separating or divorcing, and you start talking about full custody, when I put in all this work, I barely slept. You guys saw, watch my previous lives. What happened yesterday? My husband got home on a Friday from work. He decides he's tired. I've been tired all day. I've been tired all of yesterday. Since I woke up, I was tired. Okay. He got home. What did he do? First thing he did was go and nap. What a luxury. I wish. I'm a stay-at-home mom, and you guys would think I have time to nap. I don't get time to nap. These children do not let me nap. They do not allow me to nap. The only reason he was able to nap is because he knew I was taking care of the kids. Okay, if he had any kind of concerns or doubts, you wouldn't fall asleep. You wouldn't be able to fall asleep. But because he has the privilege of knowing he has a wife who is a good mother to his children, he can come home and fall asleep. And I'm not saying I fault him for it. I know, okay, he's tired. And for what he does, he's not a mom. For what he does every day, I guess, exhaustion is relative. For me, exhaustion means, I've been up all night and then I'm up all day with kids, right? That's what exhaustion means to me. I've slept less than 4 hours, but my regular day is I sleep less. I sleep maybe 5 hours. 5 hours tops is what I sleep, because I'm up with these kids, giving them whatever they need. My son has allergies. He has growing pains. The other one's an infant. Need I say more? So that's my regular. Okay, so if he did half of my regular day, he would be pooped. He'll be exhausted, right? But it's all relative to him. What he does, he goes to work and whatever. His job is not physical or anything like that, but it's just busy. And I get it. You can get mental. Listen, I'm not a person who judges how exhausting something is based on whether it's physical or mental. Mental exhaustion is real. You can get tired from doing mental work. You can get tired from emotional, something that emotionally exerts you. You can get just as tired from something that physically exerts you. All of those things can make you equally tired. One is not more valid than the other. That's not what I'm saying here, right? What I'm saying is, I do recognize that relatively for the life he lives and what he does every day, he was genuinely tired. And be- and of course I let him nap because I understand that, and it's valid. He is within his right to be tired, after a long day of work. But what I'm saying is, my job as a mom does not stop. I woke up tired. I woke up tired, guys, and I didn't get a nap. Nobody ever said, okay, I'm gonna take the kids so you can have an hour nap and just rest. That didn't happen. And I told you guys in my previous life, I got to the point of I was almost at my breaking point last night because I was just like, okay, I'm with the kids. I'm not getting a break. Okay, you took your nap, whatever, and I stayed with the kids. I cooked supper and stayed with the kids at the same time. And now that you're up, you're watching a movie, right? You're watching a movie, and I'm still with the kids. And I was tired. I was supposed to go watch a movie last night with a friend, but we canceled. It just didn't happen because we both have kids and things come up. But I don't ever get to fully watch a movie, right? So it gets to be annoying a little bit because I know, because of it's not a conscious choice for him. I know for most guys it's not a conscious choice. It is socialization, maybe a little bit of biology, but I think it's mostly socialization why guys think like this, because my husband has told me many times actually that he's not as nurturing as I am. That's why he can't be as patient with the kids. That's why I end up just taking over sometimes, because I can see, like, he's been pushed to, like, his patience level. He just doesn't have the patience to deal with certain things that I feel like need a little bit more tender loving care. Like if our son, for instance, is having an allergic reaction, his eyes itch a lot. My husband's reaction is, oh, it's in your mind, you're making it up, or he just doesn't have the level of compassion and care to realize that this child is going through growing pains, and a part of that is he's going to go through things. He's going to have allergies. I have allergies. My eyes itch, so I can relate. I can empathize with our son a lot more. I'm not going to blame him for it. I'm not going to get angry at him for it. But again, these are our skills. We have different skill sets. We have different what do you call it? We're just good at different things. And that's why I take over when my son has allergies. I'm just like, don't worry about it. I'll take over. And I'm happy to take over because I know I have the bandwidth for it. I have the patience for it. My husband doesn't, so I let him handle the things that he's good at. That's just people relating. That's a relationship, right? You are relating. You complement each other where you can, right? Instead of just getting mad. I don't get mad that, oh, well, why can't he deal with our son when our son has allergies? Why can't he be more compassionate towards our son? I know it's just not within him at this point. He doesn't have the skill. He just doesn't have the skill. My husband is not the most patient person, okay? So I get that. And I'll take over. I'm like, okay, this is what I can handle, so I'll deal with this. But I'm just giving these as examples because I know, like, some of my friends that are going through separations right now, they were in very similar dynamics. And this is almost a universal dynamic for men and women, for, women to be the more nurturing, compassionate side, of parenting, and for, guys to be like the stern, disciplinary, do this or else. Hold on, Baba. Can I just see something first? I just want to see. Okay, you're good. You're good. Okay. So I get that. I get this is a almost a universal dynamic, right? With exceptions, there's always exceptions to every rule. But what really bothers me is when things don't work out between a couple, right? And now they're separating, and then the same person that was saying, oh, I'm just not as nurturing as you. I can't handle that. I don't have the patience for that. I don't have the patience for this. I can't handle kids when, when I'm sleeping. I can't wake up. I can't be woken up by kids needing things like they need to go use the potty, or they have itchy eyes from allergies, or like little details like that moms pay very good attention to, and we handle those situations very well. The same person that couldn't handle that, all of a sudden, because you're separating or divorcing, they threaten, they literally threaten that they want full custody of those children. Again, I'm going to say, for people that are just coming in, it did not happen to me. We are not getting separated. We're not getting divorced. And hopefully we never will. Because if that ever happened, my kids are in trouble. My husband is not, he's not the most nurturing. He's not the most nurturing man. He's way more nurturing than some of the men I see out there, for sure. For sure, I'll give him that. But he's not the most nurturing person. So I would have nightmares knowing that my kids, I have to leave my kids with him overnight. Like literally last night, my son was like, because my husband was gonna take him and sleep with him in the spare room, and my son was like, no, 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 I don't want to sleep in there. Daddy's room, he calls it Daddy's room, right? It's like Daddy's room is too scary, and he's only 4 years old. And if a 4-year-old is saying that, like that just shows you, it's not that he does anything abusive or anything like that, but it's just they're young. They need a more gentle, nurturing what do you call it? They need to be handled more gently, especially when they're having a hard time already. Because, and that's my thing, the kid's already having a hard time. They're having allergies, they're going through whatever they're going through. Sometimes his legs hurts because he's going through growing pains. So me coming in, if I came in, not just my husband, but if I came in already aggravated, like, oh, and why are you not sleeping and you're complaining about your legs hurting instead? How is that helping him? He's already going through a hard time. My job is to help him, right? Help him the best way I can, not to make him more scared, or even scared to tell me that he's going through a hard time. I don't want my kids to be scared. I want them to be able to open up and be like, listen, Mom, I'm in pain right now. My legs hurt, or my eyes hurt, or whatever hurts. Whatever it is they're going through, I want them to be able to speak up and be like, I can tell my parent that I'm going through this, and my parent will advocate for me. They won't hold it against me. They won't be annoyed. You know what I mean? That's just my take. But again, I said people are different. These are my skill sets, right? So I dread, like, if my husband, he says he would never, because he already knows he just does not, he's not capable of dealing with them at this level. But it just shocks me when I see guys that are in very similar situations to my husband. Now that they're going through separations, they're demanding full custody from a mother who's fully capable and has proven she's fully capable of taking care of these kids from conception. Because like I said, moms, we become mothers from conception, not from birth, from conception. Okay, these mothers are good mothers. They're fully capable of taking care of their children. They have been taking care of their children. That's why their husbands, who are now ex-husbands, have been able to excel so well in their careers. My husband goes on deployments. This year alone, since January started, he has been on, let's see, 1, 2, 3 or 4 deployments already. And these things help his career, obviously, being able to go to these things. He's up for a promotion. Our move right now to Edmonton is based on a promotion he's getting. He's starting a position when he gets there. he wouldn't be able to do any of that. I know this. He wouldn't be able to do any of that if he was the sole caregiver for these children, right? And this is why I don't always hold it against him when he's just like, he needs to nap after work, or he needs to go to bed early, and he can't stay up to help me with the kids, or he can't wake up in the middle of the night to help me with the kids. Since they were born, I have dealt with every late night, Oh, are you watching Peppa Pig? Spider-Man. The kids being sick. Every time they've been sick, I've dealt with it. I wake up, I deal with it. Okay, the only time I've ever woken him up is to let him know if it gets really bad and I have to take him to the hospital, to the ER, then I let him know I'm going to take him to the ER. That's the only time I've ever woken him up. Otherwise, I'm trying to make things as easy as possible for him so he can wake up and do his job in the morning. And I like that balance. We both like that balance, right? So that's why it just puzzles me, like, how I feel like these guys, to be honest with you, I know some of these guys, right? I know their wives, they're my friends, and I know these guys, and you could say I'm biased because their wives are my friends, but just I've tried to be I haven't said anything. This started like months ago. Okay, this separation started months ago, and I haven't said a word about it because I was just like, I want to be, I want to give both of them a chance to, I don't want to be biased, and I want to give both of them a chance to work this out without anybody having any input on their relationship. But at this point, where this guy has turned around and he's like, he wants full custody of these children, it's really bothering me on an emotional level. I'm just like, I can't imagine what is going through his mind. This man is not a crack addict. She doesn't do any of these things. All she does, her whole life is centered around taking care of her children, providing for her children. But this man is willing to take that away just to feel like he's the better person. And not even just to feel like, just to be perceived. It's almost to prove that, like, look, everyone, see, I got full custody of the kids. That means there was something wrong with her, and I'm the better parent. But it's not working because everybody that knows him knows her, and they know what an amazing mom she is. So I'm just like, I hope the court system sees through this foolishness, because it is what that's exactly what it is. It's foolishness. It's being very immature. It's not advocating for your children at all. It is not considering their well-being at all, because if he was, he would understand that them staying with their parent, their mother specifically, is the best thing for them, right? As they're young, they're so young. Like, her youngest is just like, how many weeks older than him? How many weeks? I had him in February. She had her youngest in, is it November or December? Her youngest is not that much older than my youngest. That means they're both still infants. So he wants full custody of an infant. What is he gonna do with an infant? And she's a breastfeeding mom. She breastfeeds for the longest time, like I did. I breastfed Liam until he was like 3. Until he came, actually. Right? And then Liam decided, oh, breastfeeding is for babies at that point, and he stopped. But I breastfeed my kids for as long as possible because I know that's the healthiest thing for them. I could stop and go enjoy my life and have wine and go out for drinks and stuff and just enjoy my life. I could stop early. Lots of moms do that and nobody faults them for it. But I prioritize giving my children the best. Okay, the best start. Because a good start is important for children. It's so important. It'll make the difference in the long run. People don't realize this. In the long run, it'll make the biggest difference. The kind of start a child has is everything. And that's everything to me. And that's everything to this woman I'm talking about, my friend. It's everything to her because we've talked about parenting. She's given me, because she has 4 children, and she's given me tips on parenting, things, things that I didn't, things that I'm still learning that she had already learned from being a parent before me. And I know parenting is her primary thing, like giving her kids the best is her main thing, the best of herself. Whereas for dads, not that giving their kids the best is not their goal. Dads just give their best in a different way than moms. But when kids are young like this, they need their moms. I would argue they need their moms way more than their dads. Somebody who might want to argue with me about that, but I would seriously say kids, when they're young, need their moms way more than their dads. Because when push comes to shove, the mom will always go the extra mile. If anything happened to my husband, I know they would still have a roof over their head because I'm not just a mom, I'm a hustler. I hustle every chance I get. I bring money in. So I'm fully capable of making money. I've always been capable of making money. That's just a part of me. And I'm fully capable of being a full-time parent. And I know for sure, without a reason of a doubt, bills will get paid if anything happened to him. Okay, tomorrow, today, if anything happened to him, bills will still get paid. Food will be on the table. They'll have a roof over their head, and they'll have their mom taking care of them. I know that for sure, right? For sure. I don't have any doubts about that. No doubts. But when I talk to these guys, when they're with their wives, when they're still together, I hear them say stuff like, I couldn't do this by myself. Even my husband today just said, I couldn't do this by myself. I could not do this. This is, like, I'm like, okay. I think you can, but you just have never been pushed to, you know what I mean? He has an option. He has an option. Having your wife, having the mother of the children there, it's always, like I said before, I'm always like now. I have the kids. If he wants to go to the gym, I have the kids. If he wants to cook, I have the kids. But when I want to work out, I have the kids. When I want to cook, I have the kids. When I want to clean, I have the kids. You see the difference? It's not the same. It's not nearly the same. You can't compare. You cannot even compare. It's not the same thing. So I don't know. I don't know, guys. I'm just trying to understand. I'm a very empathetic person, so things like this really just break my heart because I'm like, I went through, my parents got divorced when I was young. My mom got divorced twice when I was young. And I know how any one of the parents being selfish, how that affects the child, and how that affects the child the most. Okay, because the person you're being selfish to, the person you're trying to make suffer, the person you're trying to make their life hell. So they're busy. They're busy trying to, like, if my husband up and left today, my first priority is not going to be to sit and wallow and cry over, oh, my husband left. That's not my first priority. My first priority automatically and always will be my children. It's going to be how I'm going to pay the bills, how I'm going to put food on the table, how I'm going to keep a roof over their head. So at that point, I am on getting those things done because they get done. No doubt about it, they will get done. I am tunnel visioned. I don't have time to focus on his emotions or my emotions. But guess who has time? Your children. Your children have time. And your children will internalize that pain. They will feel that hurt. They will feel that pain. And they will grow up thinking there is something wrong with them. That, mom and dad separated. There's something wrong with them. That dad left and did this and did that and try to make mom's life hell or whatever. They will internalize that. And it will be a scar that you as a parent would have put on your child yourself. You would have been the first person to break your own child's heart. And I can tell you that first and foremost from experience as a child. And I've told my dad this. I said to him, "You are the first man in my life that ever broke my heart. And you broke my heart when I was too young to even understand what heartbreak is." Does he take accountability? No, he does not. Till this day, has never taken accountability for it. If anything, he's actually told me what happened between me and your mom is grown up stuff that was between me and her. No, it wasn't. No, it wasn't. When you tried to break my mom's heart, what you actually did is you broke my heart. When you tried to cheat on my mom, and you did cheat, what you did is you cheated me of a life with my dad, of a relationship with my dad. You cheated me of the respect and the love I would have had from my father. That's what you cheated me of. You cheated me of a future, of a certain kind of future I would have had. Right? There's so many things I had to deal with as a child that when I needed my dad, I knew I couldn't rely on him. I couldn't go to him because he was just in that selfish mode of, I'm going to make your mom pay. Oh, she left me? She left me for what? Well, you were abusive. You were cheating. Of course she left you. But his mentality was, oh, I'm going to show you. I'm going to prove to you that leaving me was the worst decision you ever made. Okay. Right now, it turns out it was the best decision she ever made because she managed to give us a life that she would have never been able to give us had she stayed in his abusive clutches. Like we had, oh my gosh, I can't even tell you the kind of the lifestyle I had that my mom provided. If I start telling you right now, you would think I'm some spoiled princess. The wealth I grew up living, my mom went and did it. And she did much better on her own than staying with that abusive, you know what. But his goal all for years, he just had his priorities all mixed up. He's thinking that not paying child support and not helping with this, not helping with my medical bills, because I had asthma as a child. I had chronic, serious asthma as a child. Not helping with medical bills, not helping with, anything at all was going to make my mom suffer. No, it just propelled her further, made her more successful than ever before, than she would have even ever been if she had stayed with him. And she gave us a life that he could never, even till this day, he's not even able to give his children the kind of life that my mom gave us. So all of that trying to make her suffer thing for just literally advocating for herself and standing up for herself and not wanting to be abused, all of that effort he put was for nothing. If anything, it just hurt me, his child, and his other children, because we got separated. He had children from a previous marriage, and my mom had my brother from a previous marriage. So when they got together, it was a blended family, but we were siblings. To each other, we were siblings. We were together. We were one unit. We were a family. And his stupid decisions split our family apart. I was ripped away from my siblings. My siblings were ripped away from me at a very young age. And he thinks that now he can come back and he can come into our lives and be like, oh yeah, I want all my children to be together. Like, no, you ruined that. He ruined that for us. We can never all be together because we grew up very different lives. The person I became living with my mom, a very powerful, strong woman, made me a very different person that tolerates I don't have tolerance for toxicity. I do not have any tolerance for toxicity. Whereas my siblings that he raised, they tolerate a lot more crap than I do. So as individuals now, we just don't mix. We don't get along. We don't mix. And that's because of him. Because of his decision that he made. So he can't come to me and try. And that's the thing with guys like that. They try to make it like it's your responsibility. I have no responsibility. He failed at his responsibilities. I have no responsibility. He's a redemption or his whatever. That's his business. That's not my business. I don't know why he keeps trying to make it my business, because he keeps trying to make it my business. It's none of my business. However, you're going to redeem yourself for your sins and your mistakes as a father is not my business. I don't have to be involved in any of it. And this guy tries to get his kids that he raised to come and tell me, oh, you haven't forgiven him. You're lucky you even have a dad. Listen, I grew up, the kind of life I grew up, my dad might as well be as good as dead. Okay, that's the kind of life I grew up, because in my toughest times, if the only person I could rely on was my mother is the only person I could rely on. That means that I didn't have a dad. My dad is good as dead. I lived a life where it's the same as like my siblings, my younger siblings, for instance, their dad passed away when they were very young. So they've never had their dad to go and be like, hey, I need help with this, or even for advice, to just call and be like, I need help, I need advice with this, what should I do? Right? They can't. He's gone. He's long gone, dead. And I'm in the same situation, but my dad is alive. You know what I mean? So he's as good as dead as far as I'm concerned. I don't care. I don't care if he's even watching this. I really don't care. That man means nothing to me. So all those efforts to make my mom suffer, this is the relationship that he gets. He gets a daughter who he really wants to be a part of her life, but I couldn't care less. I don't care. I really don't care for him. I don't care for him to be in my life. I would rather actually he didn't, because I've become a much better human being without him. And I don't want his toxicity around my children. I do not want him to influence my kids in any way whatsoever, because as far as I'm concerned, he's a toxic human being, because he's never accepted responsibility or accountability for what he did and how that affected my life as his daughter, right? I never asked him to go and apologize to my mom for what he did to my mom. I never asked that, even though he did go and apologize to her. All I asked for him was to accept responsibility and accountability for the mistakes he made and how that affected my life growing up, my self-esteem, my confidence, and my self-worth, and how I had to work extra hard to rebuild those things on my own because of him. So this is, you see what I mean? Like, this is what I'm saying. This is the result of people prioritizing their ego over the children's well-being. And that's what I feel like this guy is doing right now with my friend. Like, how can you say you want full custody? You weren't even able to stay up with the kids and help them all night, or stay up with sick kids while you were with the woman. But now, because you don't like the woman anymore, all of a sudden you want full custody? For what? It makes no sense, guys. I just can't. I can't deal with like people like this. I cannot. Like, I was trying to be respectful and be like, you know what? It's your relationship. You guys decided to separate, whatever. But now I just have no respect for him whatsoever. I have no respect left for him whatsoever. None. Like, a decent human being does not do that. You do not do that to your children. And also, because the worst part is, the two younger children they have for children, the two younger children are actually, those are his biological children. The two older ones he adopted when he got into the relationship. But he's saying he wants full custody of just the two younger ones. So you want to, not only did you turn these poor kids' life upside down by your decision, now you want to separate these kids from not only from their mother, but from their two siblings, just to satisfy your own ego. Just to satisfy your own ego. I'm telling you, I have no respect for this man left. None. I was trying to just have a mutual, basic human being type of respect for him, but now I have none. That is vile. That is just vile.
What are you doing?
I'm doing it live.
Oh. Again?
Yeah.
Are you gonna do the bathrooms?
No. No, well, he's awake.
Okay.
Where's Liam? Did he come downstairs?
In the basement.
Oh, okay. I think he got bored up here. There's just no toys for him with him.
What?
There's no toys for him up here, so he got bored.
Oh, what are you guys doing up here?
I just told you.
Slide.
Yeah.
Oh,
And my hair.
okay. Can you come help them soon? So we'll get the living room back together soon so that you guys can come back down in the bathrooms and all the dishes.
What?
I was wondering if you could help me here a little bit.
What do you need help with? With cleaning? Oh, I thought you were gonna say you're almost done and then you're gonna take the kids so I can clean the bathrooms. No?
The place has been cleaned all the time, right? Since like before Alaska. Things I want to
I'm
know.
pretty sure I've cleaned it.
I want to put out on the curb too.
Yeah. Well, I'm pretty sure I cleaned the house when you were in Alaska. There is no way that it would have not been cleaned since before Alaska.
Okay.
I could not live in filth like that. But yeah, basically this is just my rant. I'm just venting, guys. I'm just venting because it's sad. It's sad that there's children involved in this. If it was just the two of them, I wouldn't even care. I'd be like, go through your divorce, whatever. You know, move on with your lives. But because there's children involved, and they're like, this man literally is gonna go to court and ask for full custody for children that he's never stayed up, not a single day. He's never stayed up sick with these children. I don't know. Somebody help me make sense of this. Somebody help me understand this. Because it's just, I'm wrecking my brain. I'm wrecking my heart right now. Just trying to understand what would motivate a man who, just because you don't want to be with the mother of your children anymore, you're going to do everything in your power to make her life hell, and worse, try to take her children away. I don't know, guys. Maybe I'm just too much of an empath and I'm just, you know, getting too much into this. I don't know. I can't help who I am. I can't help who I am, guys. But I want people to, I don't know. If you guys feel like saying something about this topic, please, you're more than welcome to. And remember, these are not strangers. These are people I know. I've seen this. I know how good of mom this woman is. And I know how basic of a dad this guy is. Like, just basic. So because some people have kind of, and that's the problem. When you're in a society where men get patted on their back for doing the bare minimum, for just like hugging their kids or looking at their kids, and everybody's like, oh, he's such a great dad. But nobody takes notice of the sacrifice, the selfless sacrifice moms make every single day. Sad. This is what creates these kind of dynamics. When people are separating, now he feels entitled, right? Because everybody's told him he's a great dad, he's a great dad. He doesn't even know half of what it takes to keep his children alive and thriving, not just surviving, thriving. He doesn't even know what it takes. But now he feels entitled, and now he feels like, oh yeah, I can do it. If she can do it, I can do it. Why weren't you doing it all along? Listen, I have no qualms. Okay, even if it was my situation, it was my husband, and if he was giving the amount of energy and time I give into these children, if it was reversed, okay, if it was reversed and he's the one who stayed up with the kids all night, he's the one who fed the kids all the time. I've literally come home sometimes and the baby was screaming and I'm like, did you feed the baby? And he's like, oh, I didn't know he hadn't eaten. Well, he's crying. Like, this has happened. This is a legit thing that's happened. I went to see my mom. My mom lives in town. I went to see my mom. I think that's the time is it the time my mom fainted and I had to take her into emergency? And it was already late. So by the time I got home from emergency, it was like maybe 9:20, 9:30, and the baby's screaming, screaming, screaming. And I'm like, what is going on? I'm like, did you guys have supper? Yeah. Did the baby eat? Oh, I didn't know you didn't feed him. I didn't know he. Well, I left to go. And even if you thought I fed the baby, at this point he's screaming. Why don't you try everything? Check his diaper. If it's dry, maybe he's hungry. If you try giving him food and he doesn't eat, maybe he's thirsty. If he doesn't drink, maybe he's sleepy. Like, I'm telling you guys, these guys take for granted. It just shows you how much they take us for granted as women. And just our skills and our capabilities, they really take us for granted because if they really appreciated us, you would not, just because you don't like the mother of your children more, you would never, never utter those words that you want full custody. And he's not just saying, this is not something he's just saying. He's actually going to the courts, guys. He's actually going to the courts to try to get full custody of children that this woman has fed, okay, and stayed up with all night, all nights upon nights upon nights since they were conceived. Since they were conceived. I don't know. Somebody, I think, is absolutely selfish, vile behavior. Just vile, just selfish, heartless. Not because I'm taking it from the woman's perspective. Yes, it's painful from the woman's perspective. We give so much for our children. We sacrifice so much for our children. But also just from the children's perspective. They need their mom right now, especially right now during the separation. They need their mom more than ever. They need to stay together as siblings now more than ever. It's not about him. It's not about his seed and his even being the biological parents. It's got nothing to do with him. Their family has already been split. They're missing their father every day because now they're living in two different places and only seeing their dad occasionally. So that's already been interrupted. Now this man is heartless enough to want to take those two kids away from the other two siblings. Screw that, guys. Screw that. I can't. I cannot. I can't deal with guys like this. I can't. I was so upset. I literally I told my husband, I'm like, listen. If we ever come to the point of getting separated, okay, or divorced, please, I do not ever want to hear those words coming out of your mouth that you want full custody. I do not ever want to hear those kinds of words coming out of your mouth. Okay. Unless I've taken up alcoholism, or I'm doing crack, or I'm like, I don't know, doing some really outrageous thing, which is very unlikely because, guys, I don't even drink. I don't smoke. I don't drink. I don't do anything. I don't do weed, nothing. Marijuana, he does. My husband does. He still has the luxury of doing things like that, even while we have kids. I don't, because I have young children. I breastfeed, and it's very important to me that my milk is clean and healthy, right? So if I ever hear this man, guys, and if this man ever does, you guys are gonna hear about it. I'm not gonna be quiet about it. I will not. I refuse. I'm not gonna be that woman. I'm not gonna be quiet and go through something like that silently. No. I will let you guys know. You guys know. Oh, hey baby, come. Did you just have a pee pee? What happened? Are they stuck? You're really into Peppa Pig, but you also need a diaper change. So that's conflict for you, isn't it? You're just like, what do I do? It's okay, I'll change you. I'll change you. And also, we have to put your swim stuff away. Right? Lots of swim stuff. I think these are your shorts. You guys grow up so big. These used to be Liam's shorts, but they're your shorts now. Aren't they? That's your swim stuff too? Wow. Big boy, you got swim stuff. Whose shorts are these? Those are Liam's shorts. Liam's shorts. We'll put your swim stuff away, guys. And you guys will swim again later when we go, when we're moving again. When we're moving again, we're going to be placed in a hotel. So, yes, I'm going to change you in a minute. Let me get this stuff out of the way. There's just too much stuff on this bed. Everybody's just been throwing stuff on this bed instead of putting it away. Nobody wants to put anything away. Okay, so Liam's stuff will go in his drawer, which is where your stuff will go in your drawer up here. We'll put these swim diapers in here too. Okay? Are you getting sleepy now? Okay, guys. I think the baby's getting sleepy now, so I'm gonna go put him in bed. And my battery's at 1%, so I'm gonna go. I hope you have a wonderful, wonderful day. And if you have any input on this topic whatsoever, feel free to leave a comment or message me or whatever. It's just something that's just really, it just really hurt. It really hurt me, to be honest with you, to just know that there are people out there going through this, that they're, after years of just enjoying a relationship with someone, that you would just decide to, first of all, up and leave, but also decide to make life hell for that person. Because I feel like you have to honor some part of those good things, no matter how bad something turned out, no matter what happened. That it doesn't matter what happened, what made him upset, like being vindictive. Okay, let's say she did something outrageous, like really outrageous, like let's say she had an affair, which I know she didn't. I know for sure she didn't, but let's say she had an affair or whatever. But is being vindictive going to help your children? Is that the best thing for your kids? I don't think so. I don't think so. I think at that point you need to make things as peaceful as possible. But anyway, I'm gonna go because I'm gonna change this baby into a dry diaper, and then I will try to put him down for a nap and go help my husband clean. As you heard, he needs help cleaning. I thought he was gonna come and say he's done cleaning, and now he's gonna take the kids so I can clean the bathroom. Oh well, like I said, we all have different strengths, right? We all have different strengths and abilities, so whatever. I hope you guys remember to always be kind to yourselves And always, always be your own best friends first, okay? All right. Ciao, guys. Take care.